this white balance is shocking. Hello and welcome to my insanity, and hello beautiful. So for this video, as you can tell, I am doing a Q&A. Why? Because on TikTok I decided that I was going to upload quite a lot of like Q&A style like videos and answering a lot of questions, but there are lots of questions that I've missed and two that need a little bit more detail than what I can put into like 1 minute videos. So I decided to come here and do an extended version. So if that idea tickles your fancy, please keep watching, and if that video idea does not tickle your fancy, I will see you in one of my other videos. So with all of that said and done, let's go! So this is going to be quite a long video, so get your drinks ready, get your popcorn, get your snacks, because we're going to be sitting here for a while. But Janet was very smart and she finally found her glasses. She thought she left them in Paris for a bit, but turns out no, she left them in her car sunny holder, which doesn't make sense, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna have my phone over here, which has all the like questions in the video that I just uploaded to TikTok, so that I have a reference here so that I can just read and answer straight off the bat. No hesitation, all in, let's go. So I'm just going to be scrolling through these in a random order. So the first question is, where are you from? Which is actually the most popular question because I switch accents so many times that everyone's just really confused, and I'm so sorry. So I am born and raised Blue Mountains, New South Wales, Australia. So I am an Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. How did you come up with your intro? So my intro on TikTok is hello beautiful. So the reason I say hello beautiful is just because years ago I saw a friend and I was like, hey beautiful, how are you? And just by calling them beautiful, it actually made their day. And I realized in that very moment that sometimes all you have to do is like the tiniest little act of kindness and it just makes someone's day so much brighter. So I just open my videos like that because sometimes that's all that someone needs to hear, just to turn their crap day into a good day, if that makes sense. Will you get the James Charles palette? Do you have the James Charles palette? I don't have the James Charles palette. Instead I have the Morphe Color Burst 35B. So it's similar to James's and it's the cheap version of James's, but it's got like pretty much every color that I need anyway. So I don't know if I'd ever get the James Charles palette. Also, I'm perpetually broke, so like there's that. How do you get the ideas for your videos? So I call myself a self-confessed lunatic in the way where I think I am proper effing mental, because I will do what I want, whenever I want, and never apologize for being myself. So those ideas are just something that I find funny personally, and people just seem to be reacting to it really well, which is absolutely crazy to me. Why don't you like natural colors? So most of my makeup videos on TikTok, I am doing bright colors. So the first one was pink, the second one was yellow, and the third one was blue. At the moment I am wearing slightly natural makeup. I just genuinely like doing winged liner because I feel as though it really opens my eyes, and because like I kind of like the old school like 50s kind of feel, if that makes sense. Which it probably doesn't. How are you today, beautiful? I am doing swell. I get to sit down with you guys and have a chat with you guys and answer all of your questions. Skincare routine. I don't necessarily have one, in all honesty. I do sometimes wash my face with baby soap. Which is so bad, but I do have like face oil called Drunken Elephant, which works for my skin really well because it is dry as hell half the time, but sometimes it decides that it's going to be really oily, and then the oil that I put on my skin it hates. So I'm an absolute mess when it comes to my skincare routine. What is your eyebrow journey? Have you gone through one? This is, at the moment there's eyeshadow on them, but legitimately this is how my eyebrow shape like always is. Sometimes I get a bit of a monobrow, sometimes like I have little weird strands poking out for no reason, so I'll just grab a pair of tweezers and pluck them. That's really all I have to do for my eyebrows, and even then like just rock what you got. So this is probably the second most popular question, which is about my hair because it is shaved. It's grown out quite a bit though. Maybe I'm the only one that thinks that. I'm probably the only one that thinks that, whatever. So the reason I don't have a lot of hair is because I recently shaved my head for charity, specifically the World's Greatest Shave, to raise money for the Leukemia Foundation. When did I first start doing makeup? So I probably first started doing makeup properly like maybe first year uni, so probably like 5 or 6 years ago now. So where did the Russian accent come from? The peel-off accent. So my peel-off accent actually it's gonna sound so dumb, but that's okay. So the Russian accent, the peel-off accent, whatever you want to call it, which I do very badly, in all honesty. When I was younger, was obsessed obsessed with this movie called Bartok the Magnificent. The dragon hasn't eaten since a fairy day, thanks to B-A-R-D. Oh, okay. So when I was like 7, I watched that for like 2 months on repeat. Like my family actually probably wanted to burn that DVD, but like I wouldn't let them because it was my favorite. So because of that, I just loved imitating the voice of Bartok the bat. And then I didn't realize until like 3rd year uni that whenever I was frustrated or I had like an internal monologue moment that became external and I said it out loud, I did it in that accent. Because when I was driving home my friend Maria from uni, someone cut me off while I was driving and I shouted at them with the accent and she started dying of laughter and asked me why I was spontaneously Russian. And it was that point where we realized that I do that a lot. Like it's almost a default setting. And then we looked through the character name list and one of the names of the characters was Pilaf. So we call her Pilaf. It's so dumb when I say it out loud. How old am I? I'm 23. I am born in December. How can you get makeup sent to you by a company? So it's only been very, very recently where my social media has actually like popped off, and it's only actually really popping off on TikTok. So because of that, for example, like I uploaded a video maybe 2 months ago of me baking a cake to celebrate this YouTube channel's 2nd birthday, and I put a candle on it for every single one of my subscribers being 151, and somehow in the time from that video to this video I have like 9,000 or something crazy like that, because so many people have jumped over from TikTok to YouTube. So because of that, I'm still quite unknown on social platforms, and because of that people don't actually send me stuff, people don't sponsor me or do any of that, and that doesn't actually bother me because I don't do any of my social stuff to be famous, to be glorious, to make money. I do it because it makes me happy. I do it because it gives me something to look forward to at the end of my day, or it gives me something to look forward to wake up to. Like I do it because I like it and it makes me happy, and it's starting to make a bunch of so many people happy, which like makes me even happier. So like I don't actually know how I can get makeup companies to send makeup, and I'm so sorry that I can't actually answer that question. Where do you get your inspirations from? Genuinely, it's a stupid voice in my head that tells me this would be funny, and then I do it, and then I just upload it to the internet and hope for the best. Did your mum actually say if you can't say something nice, say something cruel? Oh no. So my mother didn't. My mum is so lovely and she always taught me to be very respectful, have manners, be kind to everyone, because you don't know who they are, you don't know what they're going through, so just be nice, because you don't get anywhere in life being an ass. So my mum did not say that, but I reckon if Pilaf had a mum, her mum would probably say something like that. Do you like Vegemite? I love Vegemite. There is nothing better than like if there is no food in the fridge, if there is no food anywhere in the house, like I will get myself some bread, I will get myself some Vegemite, I'll put some cheese on top, even though I'm lactose intolerant, because like lactose just makes me fall asleep, so like screw it, and I'll make it Vegemite cheese toasty. So good. I love Australia. They come up with the weirdest stuff. How many different accents do you do? So my main one is like, of course, Australian. My second one is definitely the Russian accent. I do like doing American, but it actually really bothers a lot of my friends because they know that this isn't how I sound. Also, it takes me a bit to really, like, you can tell that I'm trying to think through how I'm supposed to use the accent. So all my accents are very like, to me, I think they're pretty crap, but other people seem to enjoy them. I reckon like with more practice and more like use of them, I'll get a lot better at them and get a little bit more natural with them than like the staggered kind of speaking that I have with a lot of my accents. When you do your makeup, do you have a specific video or image in mind? Not really. I really like to work with monochromatic, in all honesty. So I'll sit there and be like, I feel like blue, I feel like purple, I feel like pink, and then I just kind of go for that. I am gonna try and experiment with more like multicolored looks just because I want to expand my repertoire. What made you start TikTok? I saw a really funny video that was reposted on Instagram from an Aussie TikToker, and I thought it looked like fun, so I downloaded it, and then I started doing like your usual like dub smash kind of stuff, like your lip sync kind of stuff. Then one day it was like, 11 o'clock at night and I just got home from work and I made myself a coffee, which is the dumbest idea ever because of course I was awake. And it was 2 a.m. and I was still really awake, so I decided to do a makeup tutorial with a Russian accent, and then the next morning and I woke up and I had like 20,000 extra followers and I had no idea what was going on. But it has been such a fun ride since, so like I'm so happy that I uploaded that. How did you get so good at makeup? I don't necessarily think I'm that good at makeup. I just know my face shapes and what I like and what I want to enhance, and I just watched a lot of makeup tutorials online and I just practiced a lot. Like, you will screw some stuff up. There will be some days where your face does not look glorious, but at the same time, like, screw it. Like, you're practicing, you're learning, just keep doing it. And even if you just want to take moments in your day that are just like spare time, like, go for it. What would you give up, TikTok or makeup? Ooh. I would have to say TikTok, only because I could still come over to YouTube and film videos. There's a loophole in that question. Boom. Do you ever miss having longish hair? It's not so much that I miss it, just like every now and then I forget that I've shaved my head. So I used to like have a mad ponytail that I would like whip and stuff, and now I don't have a ponytail to whip and stuff. Like I'm just so used to playing with my hair and it's not there, so now I'm just like always doing that because I forget that I don't have like hair really. What's your favorite makeup brand? Ooh, that's a good question. My favorite makeup brand I would have to say is ColourPop, only because they give some really good products for a really good price. Like if you aren't the richest of people, which like, hello, it's really good price for really good product and you get like such a variation, and they've got some really cool stuff like their Jelly Mutt shadows. Like I want so bad, but I can't excuse the money at the moment, if that makes sense. And like their eyeliners are good, like their lipsticks are good. Like I've got so much stuff that I've bought over the years. It's absolutely mental. Am I single? Yes, I'm a happy little single Pringle. I have been for 2 years and I'm not changing that anytime soon. Do you have any pets? If so, how many, what type, and what are their names? So I have 4 cats. I have a ginger cat, Chester. I have a black cat, Jess. So we have a tabby cat, Monty, and we have a tabby cat called Pip. I then have 2 rabbits, so they're both dwarf flops. So I have a white bunny called Pearl and I have a grey bunny called Bo. And then I've got 2 dogs. So we've got Juicy, who is a blonde mutt. We think that she is like an Irish wolfhound cross like Staffy. And then we've got Max, who is a border collie cross cattle dog. So he's pretty much like the most hyperactive dumb thing you've ever met in your life, but I love him so much. Is your hair black or brown? My hair, I'm pretty sure, is naturally brown, but I did have to dye it brown after I did the demented lollipop. How many piercings do I have? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 7 piercings. So I have of course my lobes, my nose, my industrial, which is 2, my forward helix, and my conch. Yes, that is the actual name of that piercing. Yes, I know it is weird. What is the name of your YouTube channel? Like all of my social media, it is under Rifenstine, spelled R-I-F-E-N-S-T-I-N-E. Where do you work? So I work as a barstress at an RSL club, which is kind of like an upper class pub for people that don't know what an RSL club is. I think that might just be an Australian thing. What's my favorite color? Ooh, I'm pretty sure the color is in this makeup. My favorite color is this blue here. How do you say your name? So my full name is Janet Louise Rifenstine, but I just say Rifenstine because it's easier for people to know. It's very German. Would you ever consider getting a bird or a dog? I already have a dog and birds scare me. Would you ever like to own your own makeup brand? Having my own brand in general, whether it is makeup, whether it is like sewing, because I am very much into designing like my own clothes and stuff, I would just love in general. It would be like an absolute dream come true. When did you start doing peel off? Pretty much when I was 7. What's your favorite food? So my favorite food is lasagna, but I'm allergic to tomatoes because it gives me hives, and I'm allergic to lactose because it makes me fall asleep. What's your favorite eyeshadow palette? So my favorite eyeshadow palette is my Morphe Color Burst, just because it has every single color in there that I will ever actually need. But I have lots of different favorites, like the ColourPop My Little Pony palette. I absolutely love it. It's got so many like colors in it for sunsets. So like I'm thinking of doing another look where like I do a sunset eye or something like that. Have you ever thought of wearing a wig? So I've only like not had hair for like maybe a month now. The idea of wearing a wig has popped into my head, and I've been tempted to do like a bunch of like buy a bunch of wigs and then just try them on for you guys and show them different hairstyles on me and stuff like that, because a bunch of people have asked me to do a wig haul, but my finances are not in the right state right now. But when they are in the right state, you better believe that I'm gonna be doing a wig haul. What phone do you have? I have a iPhone 7 Plus. Have you ever used natural makeup before? Boom, this is as natural as I can get, in all honesty. How many haters do you have? Because I am not one. I guess I do have a few haters. Like, lots of people tell me like, oh, your accent's crap, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, cool, you don't have to watch it. Why are your teeth so yellow? Because I have a caffeine addiction. I'm trying to wean myself off, but it is very, very hard. Like there's always gonna be people out there that will try and tear you down, and you know what I say to them? I don't care, because at the end of the day, I am happy with who I am, and I am sorry that you are so bored that you have to take time out of your day to hate on someone that you don't even know. If you know me and you hate me for a legitimate reason, go for it. But also like tell me, because then I'll try and fix it. Boy or girl? I am female. I was born female. I identify as female. I just shaved my head for charity. That's usually the thing that people get confused about. They see me with a shaved head, and also I have a very deep voice for a female is what I've been told. So like most of the time it's just people being like, wait, I cannot tell. How do you keep your skin so clear? It looks clear, but at the same time it does genuinely hate me. So I have lots of issues when it comes to eczema. So I have lots of patches on my face that are quite dry and rashy, and also like parts that are quite oily, which is really, really fun, because it's like, how do you fight the rash but also fight the oil caked nose that I have and forehead? It's a mess. I really have to go to a dermatologist or something. What's your biggest regret? I really shouldn't say my ex's name on this. Hi, I love your videos. May I ask a question? How do you have so much confidence? People find it really weird when I tell them that I'm actually a really big introvert. I'm a really big introvert because I need my space and I need my alone time. If I am surrounded by people for too long, I just need like 5 minutes to myself to go in the corner and just breathe. But at the same time, I'm very outgoing, and I refuse to like apologize for me being myself. And I guess that's because like when I look back on life in 10 years, I'm always gonna like regret not doing things, and I don't want to have that. So I make sure that if I have an idea to do something, I do it, so that in 10 years I don't think to myself, oh, I wonder what would have happened if I did that. Because I for a second thought like, oh, should I really post a video of me doing a Russian accent, doing a flamingo eye look? If I didn't do it, where would I be? So like, just don't hold back. What's your favorite emoji? Probably the laughing crying face. It's like but like with tears coming out of it, because like it accurately describes me. But I also love the upside down smiley face, because that also accurately describes me. I'm just a train wreck. I'm just a walking like contradiction, in all honesty. Why do you put a weird voice on? Being my peel off. Why do I use peel off? Because that time where I drove my friend home and I came out with this voice, she was having such an awful day, and this made her laugh so much, and it brought a smile to her face, and I like to keep using that. It's kind of like a security blanket for me, because when I feel as though I'm not being funny, I sometimes use it, because like I have something to hide behind, if that makes sense. Do you like James Charles? Yeah, I don't mind him. I don't have like I don't know him enough to judge him, if that makes sense. Like, he's done some bad stuff in the past, like the comments that he's made and stuff, but at the same time I feel as though he's genuinely tried to rectify those mistakes, so I can always respect a person that does that. Are you happy with the way that your hair turned out? I'm not mad. Like, it's definitely a change, and I thought that I'd freak out a lot more, but I'm not mad about it. It's different, and I guess I'm still getting used to it in a way. I'm getting used to like not having something to hide behind and play with, and also like getting used to like some of the really fun comments that people like to tell me, but that's all right. What's your real voice? This one. So deep, monotone, like the kind of voice. I'm not a huge fan of it, but at the same time, like, I can't really change my voice, and that's also another reason why I do accents, because I feel as though like I can change my voice and have a little bit more emotion. How do you do the useless shaving cream? Haha. Okay, so shaving cream sound is my so the way that I do it is like I used to play saxophone, so that kind of helps. So you like curve your bottom lip over your teeth and like have your tongue in between, and you just shoot air into that little pocket. So you kind of try and fill up this like section of your mouth with air, and then just kind of like bring your lips together so that it kind of like shapes the sound, if that makes sense. It probably doesn't, but that's how I do it. So, and I always start with a t sound at the beginning, so is how I do it. Who's my favorite YouTuber? Ooh, so I've always been a big fan of Jenna Marbles, in all honesty. I love how just crazy she is and unapologetically herself. Like I always vibe a bitch that does that. Oh, okay, yeah. This is a different one. So do you have any medical issues? This is definitely one of the ones that I wanted to put onto here, just so that like, because this question's going to take a bit, let's be honest. So what medical issues do I have? So I have scoliosis. So that is spinal curvature. So I have a moderate scoliosis. I have a Cobb curve of 33.3 degrees, which just means that my spine curves and makes an angle of 33 degrees, and it curves pretty much just under my right shoulder blade. It doesn't really get in the way of anything, but it just means that I have to be a lot more careful when it comes to lifting things and just like having like certain pressure on my back, whether that's like coming from my shoulders or on my back in general. It's only caused me like severe issues a handful of times, and that's when it was undiagnosed. As soon as it got diagnosed, I started doing stuff to like try and make it better, which is why I go to the gym a lot, which is why I have a personal trainer, even though really I probably can't afford him. But it's just because at the end of the day, I don't want to have my body be put in a serious situation and me not have like some sort of stability behind it, which is why I do like go to the gym and like work out with my personal trainer. I also have something called endometriosis and adenomyosis. I think I'm saying the second one wrong, which is just, and for anyone who doesn't like females talking about their body parts, adenomyosis and endometriosis is when your menstrual blood, so your period blood, is mutated in a way. This is like a really like short explanation of it. It's where your menstrual blood, your period blood is mutated, and instead of it going out the way it's supposed to go through your cervix and your vagina, my period blood decides through that we're gonna make our own tunnel, and decides to tunnel through my uterus walls instead, and it will either go sit in my pelvic cavity and just fester for a while, or it will sit in the inner walls of my uterus and just fester there. Mine's in the moderate category. Once again, does it cause me issues? Yes. It caused me pain episodes for like quite a number of years, but since I've had surgery to fix it up a bit, it's a lot better. But it's one of those conditions where you can't actually get rid of it unless you cut out the whole uterus, and like at 23 I don't want to get rid of my uterus. And then I'm also like diagnosed with like 3 mental health disorders: anxiety, depression, and PTSD. But with all that, I try my hardest not to let that get in the way of like doing things. Like I don't allow myself to use that as an excuse to not do things or not go for something, or to be like just a stupid person in general. Like every now and then they are going to get in the way, and I let myself have a moment to myself when any of those things are going to get in the way, but I'm not going to let that be for a prolonged amount of time, because I'm not going to get anywhere if I let those things like really define me and overcome me, if that makes sense. What is your favorite song? So like I have a happy song that changes like quite regularly, because I'll find a song and I'll listen to it on repeat until like I get sick of the song. So my happy song at the moment is Rita Ora's Only Want You, but my favorite song of all time is Right Round by Dead or Alive. So the one that's like, you spin me right round, baby, light round like a record, baby, right round, round, round. I love that one. Are you tall? I'm 5'6", 5'7", so I'm like 167 centimeters. So I think I'm like just below 5'7", which is taller than female average, but my sister's 6 foot. So in comparison to my family, I'm short. What's the name of the TikTok character you play? Piloof, P-I-L-O-O-F, I think is how the character spells it in Bartok. 1 to 100, do you like your fans? 100, man. Like, you guys are so supportive and so lovely and just so like invested in me, which is so crazy. And just like, it's just such a weirdly like nice feeling that like so many people are like, yes, I need some of what she's putting out there in the world. It's really fun that so many people are just like, I like this girl, she's crazy. Do you have a YouTube channel? If not, you should get one. Hello, beautiful. Are you a night person or a morning person? I am filming this at 11 o'clock at night. What vid made you TikTok famous? It would have to be straight up the flamingo makeup tutorial. Oh my goodness, it was crazy. How bad does your skin actually get after you wipe off all the makeup? My skin doesn't necessarily get bad, but it's just always in a constant state of I don't know what's going on, because as I said before, there are parts of my face which are just like straight up eczema, and there are parts of my face that are just straight up like oily blackhead hell. There is no in between. It's just like dry, suddenly oil. How long does it take you to learn accents? So since I was like maybe 15, I've on and off done courses and classes when it comes to acting and modeling at one point as well, because like I always wanted to be a star. When I was younger, I did want to grow up and be an actress, but lots of people told me that I wasn't pretty enough to be an actress and all this kind of stuff. But like, pff, whatever. But because of that, I did a lot of classes, and in those classes, like you try and get taught how to do accents, especially American, because that's where the big money is. So I guess I've developed like my different accents over the years, but I still think they're pretty atrocious. They need a lot more work. Jeffree Star or James Charles? Based purely on makeup, Jeffree Star, and that's only because his company is so much more like developed, if that makes sense. Like he's got so many palettes, so many lipsticks, so much everything, whereas James is still like beginning his like brand career. So I have to go with Jeffree for the moment, but in like 2 years time that may change to James. I'm just basing that purely on the makeup that they're putting out there. I don't know how many comments we have already gone through, but we are sifting through 1,427 comments. How do you get famous on TikTok? I don't know if I would classify myself as famous. I think I would classify myself as popular. Really what I did was legitimately the flamingo makeup tutorial. That was the one where everyone just went absolutely mental, and that's how I got to meet all of you guys, and I regret nothing. Do you get easily stressed? I do suffer from anxiety, depression and PTSD. So in certain situations I do get very easily stressed out and very easily anxious and hyperventilating, and then sometimes I get really depressed. I've dealt with that kind of stuff since I was like 12, so I'm pretty self-aware, and I know my triggers, and I know when I need to remove myself from a situation and just like take a second to myself and breathe. If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you want to go? So I really want to go to the Galapagos Islands, because just the like array of flora and fauna looks absolutely stunning, and I just want to be able to see it, because by the sounds of it, like it's starting to die. So I want to see it before it dies. What's your inspiration? Not for like makeup, but the thing that keeps you going. So I guess I try and inspire myself, which sounds really stupid. I want to be a person where in 5 years time I can look back and be like, I've made something of myself, and I know that if I don't put in the effort, nothing's gonna happen. Like, and that's just it. Just really want to look back in 5 years and be like, hey look ma, I made it, and just be able to look back and be like, everything you did was worth it, and I'm so happy that I did that. So I try and inspire myself. I try and give myself motivation. I try and be determined, because I don't want to look back and be like, I wish that I could have been something more, because that idea is just absolutely devastating to me. When did you join TikTok? I think I joined TikTok like maybe a month ago now. Like it wasn't long ago. Like maybe like a month and a half ago. It's only been a few weeks in all honesty. What's your favorite animal? Elephants. Why can't peel off keep herself under control? That's amazing. How many tattoos do I have? So I have 5 tattoos. I have my elephants, I have my paw print, I have my white ink tattoo of a lightning bolt. I have a chemical symbol on my ankle, and I have a sword on my ribs for my brother and my sister. They also have swords. We got them because we are the 3 musketeers. How long does it take you to do your makeup routine when not on camera? So if I was just doing this right now, I think this took me about like 10 minutes maximum, and that's because I kept screwing up the eyeliner. If I was to do one of my colored looks, I think maximum probably take me half an hour. I can do it quite fast, but that's because like I know exactly what I like, and I have quite a few go-to makeup looks when it comes to the big bright colors. So that is it for all the questions. I think I got through all of them. I've probably missed some more, and I'm so sorry if I have. If I have missed any of your questions, please leave them down in the comments below, because I will be replying to them, or I might save them for another Q&A video that I might do in the future. So with all of that said, I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope that you are just having a great day, a fantastic week, and you're just being as amazing as always. And I will see you next video. Bye guys!